Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Choma Stitches and my name is Choma. You're welcome back to today's sewing tutorial. If you're joining us for the first time, you're welcome. I hope you decide to stay and subscribe to this channel. And for the returning subscribers, you guys are welcome. You know I love you. I appreciate your support. Thank you guys for sticking around with me. So today we're going to be making an underbust corset. This corset is a very fashionable corset that is used to style your dress, you know, to accentuate your waist and give you nice curves. To make this underbust corset, I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to measure from my shoulder to my lower abdomen. That's biggest part of your waistline, just before your hip bones. Okay, for me that will be 24 inches, and then you mark from your shoulder to your underbust. For me that will be 13.5 inches, and from that underbust to your lower abdomen, that will be the measurement you'll be needing for your underbust corset. I'm just going to go ahead and mark out the 10 inches that I have, and I'm going to roll it across. And then I'm going to mark out the curviest part of my waistline, that will be 16 inches, and then I'll be marking 19 inches, that will be my navel. Okay, then the other part, the 24 inches, will be our hip line. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mark this out and roll it across as well before we now demarcate our pattern into two to get the front and the back. So I have my underbust line, my waistline, and my belly button line. The purpose of this underbust corset is to accentuate your waist, to reduce your waist measurement. So you can choose to take out 2 inches from your waist, or 1 inch, or as much as you would prefer. Okay, me, I don't have a very big stomach, so I can get away with taking out just 1 inch. If I want to be a little bit extra, I can take out 2 inches. But because I want to be able to wear this very comfortably to wherever I'm going to, I'm only going to take out 1 inch, and then I will leave room for adjustment. Now what that means is that I can leave space for me to be able to tighten my waist even more if I would prefer. Okay, now my waistline around my belly button is 29 inches. Divided by 4 is going to be 7.25. Now if I want to take out that from this, and I want to take out like 1.5 inch, that this is 7.25, and I can add 1.5 inch for that, so I'm going to mark 1.5 inch. Now my waist measurement is 28 inches. 28 divided by 4 is going to be 7 inches. You add your 1.5 inch again for that. For my underbust is 27 inches. 27 inches divided by 4 is going to be 6.75 inches. Now if you add 1.5 inch for that, this is what you have. Now basically I can just divide my measurement here with 10 inches. This is going to be the front part. Now let's transfer this measurement the same way to the back. Now for my hip line, this is the part where the corset is going to stop. It's 33 inches. 33 inches divided by 4 is going to be 8.25. So I'm going to rule this. Now that I've connected it, let's take out the darts that we marked out. So I'm using 4 inches for my dart. That is my bust point, nipple to nipple measurement. So I'm going to mark 4 inches all the way. I'll mark the same 4 inches at the back. Now to take out the dart we added is 1.5 inch, so I'm going to take out 1.5 inch, 0.75 inch from each side. So I have 0.75. So I'm going to connect these dart lines. So I'm going to roll it to the hip line. I'll repeat the same thing here. So this is what we have. This part we are going to obviously eliminate this part. Now I'm going to be having to reduce my waist. Like I said, I'm going to reduce my waist. So I'm taking out 1 inch from my waistline. I'm going to rule a straight line here, dividing this other part of the pattern into 2. I'll do the same thing over here. Now if I want to remove 1 inch from this waistline, it means I can only take out 0.25 here, 0.25 here, 0.25 here, 0.25 here, because we are assuming this pattern is on fold. So whatever, if I take 0.25 out from here, it means I've taken out a total of 0.5 inch from the front part. Now if I do the same thing here, it means I've taken out a total of 0.5 inch from the back part. 0.5 inch plus 0.5 inch will be 1 inch in total. and then I will now leave the room for adjustment like I've mentioned. Okay, now this room for adjustment is going to be in the front, so I'm going to be taking out half an inch in front. You can even make it more than half an inch or 0.75 inches. For that room for adjustment I want to leave in front, I'm going to be using 0.75, and I'll be doing it only in the front, and this is because the front is going to have the lacing. Okay, so I'm going to snatch it from the front. So, and then for the towards the waistline, I'm going to slant it towards the hip line. Now this is the room for adjustment. Now over to our darts. Now to take out the measurement I want to take out from here. When you take out 0.125 from both sides, you've ended up taking out half an inch from the front pattern and half an inch from the back pattern, which will now be equal to 1 inch removed from your waistline. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out the 0.125 from each side, and then I'm going to use my ruler to connect the lines. Now I am using a pencil to take out this 0.125. okay, so what I have taken here is 0.125 on each side. So I've taken out 0.125 on both sides. In total, that will give us 0.25, which will now mean that we've taken out half an inch in total from the front part. And when we repeat the same thing at the back, we've taken out half an inch from the back, which now means we have taken out 1 inch completely from our total measurement, okay, except for the hip line. So all my darts line, just note that all the darts, I did not take out any darts from the hip line. So when you are marking it out, my marker is too bold. That is why I couldn't use my marker to take out this 0.125, because it will occupy more space, but a pencil will be more precise. That is why I use a pencil, so I hope you can see it. And when I'm cutting out this part, I will cut in between the marker lines, because the marker itself is bold. If you cut after the marker, you might unintentionally cut out part of your actual measurements. So I'm going to take out this same 0.125 from this side. So I'm going to cut this out, but first I will be labeling it. This part is facing up, so it's going to follow my arrow, so I don't turn it to the wrong side. So this is the pattern we are working with. These ones are the back part, so I'm taking out, this is the darts, and this is the waist reduction that we took out. This is the total of it, 0.25. So this is coming together like so to make up the back, and you're going to cut this on fold. 2 of this, 2 of this, and this one will be on fold. We're not cutting 2 of the back piece, this center back piece. We're cutting it on fold because this back piece is not going to be having our lacing. The lacing will be in front. So this is the waist reduction, this is the darts, this will not come together like so, and then this is the room for adjustment that you can tighten your waist a little bit more if you want to. That's what I'm removing. So this I have 0.75 here, which means into 2 will be 1.5 inch. So this is the pattern, and I'm going to be transferring this to my jean fabric. This class is part of the upcycling I'm doing with some of my old jeans. Have you seen this bag also I made with my old jeans? I'm going to be leaving the link in the description box. You can also check it out. You will like the bag. The tutorial is pretty easy to achieve. And this one, this middle part of the front, I'm going to be cutting it into two different pieces. Now when I'm cutting these patterns, I'm going to be adding just 1 inch seam allowance on these 3 and 4. I will add 1 inch seam allowance to 3 and 4, and then I will add 0.75 inches in between. This is because we are going to be passing our boning channels. Those sewing allowance are going to turn out to be our boning channels. So I'm cutting out the patterns. As you can see, this is a jean fabric that's no longer very good to wear. You know, look at the crotch area is completely destroyed. So I'm trying to upcycle it to use it for my corsets. Okay, So I've transferred all my patterns to fabric. As you can see, this is the 6 of them. Now I want to reduce the depth of the back part. Okay, I want to reduce the back by taking out the difference between the front and the back, because if I don't do that, this back is going to go all the way to the butt area, and I don't want that. So I'm going to be removing like 1.5 inches or 2 inches from this back pattern. So I'm going to remove 2 inches from the back pattern. I'm going to go up like so, mark out the 2 inches. And when I get towards the part that connects, okay, this is number 3, this is number 2. See why it's good to number them. Now, because the back and the front will have a meeting point, I am going to come down from here. From here, we start by 2 inches for the number 4, because number 4 is part of the back piece. This is part of the front piece. That's number 3. And then I'm going to come down here to like 1.5, and I'll come to the front piece and I'll mark out the same 1.5 where they both meet. So I'm going to connect this line. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So I'm going to cut from here all the way here. So first, I'm going to cut out the pattern papers first. Now I'm going to cut out this ones, leaving 1/2 inch at the down for the hemming of the down parts. Okay, so I've cut it out, and this is what it looks like. It's better this way. So I'm going to go and start joining the sides. After joining the sides, I'm going to also make a rope out of this, because I cut out this long rope that I'm going to be using to make a rope. So I'm going to go ahead and make the rope and join the sides, iron it, and then we'll start to put the eyelets. But then of course, don't forget to cut out your lining piece. I'm going to be cutting my lining piece just the same way I've cut out this one. The lining is going to be the same exact way. So I've gone ahead to join the pieces together. As you can see, this is the lining pieces. This is the back part. Here is the back. The wider side is the lower body. This is the upper part of the body. And this three, 1 1 1 1 4. So this is the front piece. So I'm going to go ahead and iron this, and in ironing is I'm going to open up the seam lines, and I'll iron the seam line, because this seam line is also going to serve as our boning channel, and these are the bonings we're going to be using. So these bonings are going to go in between the seam. That is why I made the sewing allowance 0.75 inches. Okay, so here I've ironed them, opened up their seam lines, and now I'm going to go ahead and sew. By the way, I've made a rope. This is the rope I made with the pieces I cut out. This will be for the lacing. So look at this. I have used the seam allowance to create boning channels by sewing them to each different directions. Look at how it looks at the back. Look at this, these two double channel. So I'm going to be passing my bonings inside, but first I'm going to go ahead and iron a strong stay on top of it like this, even before you put the boning. This is to help to avoid any form of stretch, so that the fabric itself will not stretch. So even if the fabric has a little bit of stretch to it, you have to use the stay to prevent it from stretching. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and iron the stay on it to stop it from stretching. So let me show you how I achieved this boning channels. See how this one is. I have already created one channel here, this one this way. I'm going to lay it down and I'm going to sew at 1/2 inch. So this is it. I'm going to lay the remaining one like so. Now, so this one, the 4 of it is completely laid. Look at how it looks from the back. So when you put the boning inside, it's going to give that boning effect. It's going to poof up. I'm going to do the same thing here as well. So now I'm going to be using the lining piece to sew the top so that we can properly conceal the top. I'm going to use a hemming gum for the top. So now I'm going to top stitch it. So I'm going to iron it. When you iron it, the hemming gum is going to help it lay flat. Okay, and now to attach the front and the back together, I'm going to be sewing it by lining to lining, main fabric to main fabric. So this is the side. I'm going to be aligning it like so, using the 1 inch sewing allowance. So this place is attached. Look at how that looks. Let me attach the other side. So this is it. It is coming together. This is the inside. This is how it's supposed to be, and the lacing will be in front. So for the front, I am going to sew the front like this. Now towards the end, I'm going to fold the lining like so with 1/2 inch and fold in the main fabric the same way so I can top stitch it. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So turn it inside. This is what we have. It's coming together. We're yet to iron it because it hasn't taken shape yet. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be top stitching this. I'm going to be creating a boning channel at the end here. I'm going to first top stitch this place very close to the end. Also, whatever you do at this point, you're just going to go and make sure you conceal here. Okay, make this place fold in here. This is going to help with finishing. It is going to make the finishing easier. So I'm folding this place in. This is one of the channel I'm going to create here, so I have to make room for it and also make it neatly. So look at it. Look at how this place looks. Now I'm going to create the channel. Now the channel will now be in between the main fabric and the lining piece. So I'm going to make it a 1/2 inch opening. So I need to create the 1/2 inch and follow the marking as a guide. This is it. So we have a channel here, and I like to leave space. So I'm going to leave space after creating the channel. The space I'm leaving is where the eyelet is going to be. So I'm going to be giving it a 0.6 inches space, and then I'm going to create another one, mark another half an inch for the next boning channel, because the eyelet is going to be in between two boning channels. This is where the eyelet will be, so I'm going to create the next line. So this is it. This is how the front is going to look. So there's going to be a boning here, and the eyelet will sit in between. And this opening here is where we are going to pass the boning. The boning is going to pass in between the fabric and the lining. Unlike these other ones where we use this seam allowance to create the boning channel, we have to create another channel here for securing the eyelets. Okay, for that firmness is going to give you. I hope you understand. I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same thing on this other end. So this is what I have. I'm going to iron this out and show us what next to do. Let me press this down. So here it's time to start attaching the bonings. I'm going to start with the channel we created using the sewing allowance, so you see how it works. So this is what I'm going to do. So this is the place this is going to stay. So I'm going to measure this from here 1 inch before the hem, and I'm going to mark it. So I'm going to cut this place out. So I'm going to cut it from here, and because there are two of them there, I'm going to cut another one. So I'm going to just pass it through the seam opening. So it's inside now. I'm going to put the other one. So now we have these two have passed in. Let's do another two, these two here. The same way, I'm going to measure here, and I'm stopping at 1 inch before the hem. I'm going to cut it and cut out two. Okay, so I'm going to pass it in just like I did for that other one. So pass this one too on the next one. So look at this, and by the way, look at the strong stay that I ironed inside. Remember to iron the strong stay. If your fabric has a little bit of stretchiness to it, the strong stay is going to help to keep it in place so it will not move like it or add extra allowance to your corset. Okay, so I have filled in these two. Let's fill up the channel that's going to be beside the eyelet. The same way, I'm going to measure this, stop at 1 inch. Now in the case of this one, I'm going to be stopping at half an inch because I've already folded it in. Okay, then we measure here as well. So this is it. I am going to pass it in. This one is in between. This one is in between the main fabric and the lining piece. Okay, so just the same method, just move it in. Then the next one is going here on the other channel. So here we have it. Look at that. Okay, now I'm going to continue this method and fill in the whole part, and when I'm done, I am going to top stitch it. I'm going to try and conceal the end. So let me fill in these two here. Then I'll conceal this place a little bit to this part and show us how it's going to go. Okay, so now that I have filled in the boning on this side, I'm going to start concealing this. So I'm going to top stitch it so that it will not, the bonings will not come off. So sew it as tightly as possible. Use the tightest stitch you can use. So as you are going the other parts, you are going to keep folding it in with 1/2 inch and folding the lining as well, so you can top stitch it. And this is it. Look at what I have. So I'm going to complete this other side the same way. Then I will start fixing the eyelet. Look at how this looks. Very strong. Very, very strong. Our corset is almost there. Okay guys, so I am done with it. So you can see I've done, and I've hemmed the end. Look at how it came out clean. So what I'm going to do now is do the eyelet. So to do the eyelet, this is what I have this this perforator that I'm going to use to perforate it. So I have this perforator I'm going to use to perforate it, and this pencil is to transfer the markings to the other side. Right? So I'm going to take this like so, and I'll put it on this. This is going to help me to perforate it. It's strong enough to hold it on the under, and I'm going to like, now when you hit it, it opens up. So now that I've perforated it, I'm going to take this out. You see that it has created a hole here. I'm going to take my eyelet. Now I like to use this to pass the eyelet, so I'm going to pass this through the back, put my eyelet on it, use it to push it in. So now that I've pushed it in, you bring the grommet meshing. You're going to place this on it, place the cover, and then lock it. This is it, and this is how it looks. Beautiful. Let me do another one. Place this here, create the hole, pass this one underneath, use it to open the hole so you can put the eyelet. Now you fix in the eyelet and then fix it in here. Place the eyelet cover on top of the eyelet and then bring it down, lock to secure it, and that is secured. So we have created 2 eyelet holes. I'm going to go ahead and create all the other holes all the way, and then I will style this and show us how it looks on my body. Okay, so this is the finished work. Look at all the eyelet holes, and that's the rope for it. Here is the back. So guys, don't forget to use your jean that is getting bad to make something beautiful. Don't just throw it away. You can upcycle it the way I just did. I'll go ahead and style this now and show us how it looks. At this point, you're yet to subscribe to my channel. What are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to this channel so that you get notified whenever I drop new videos. You can also share this video to help this community grow. I really appreciate that. I want to thank all the old subscribers and the new subscribers alike. You guys, I appreciate you guys so much. See you guys in my next sewing tutorial. Bye bye.